First, the Temporary Workers' Right to Know bill. This is a bill that would take important steps towards addressing the realities of day laborers and temporary workers, that all too often they don't know basic things about their job, where it is, what it is, really the nature and the type of the work they'll be doing, their rate of pay, or even the name of their employer. And when those employers fail to pay, where they make unlawful deductions from wages, or when they expose workers to dangerous working conditions, those workers don't have the information that they need to file a legal complaint or a claim, or even to bring public pressure with the assistance of a community organization. The bill would simply require temporary agencies to give workers this basic information in the language that the agency usually uses to communicate with the worker. The second bill is a bill that would address wage theft. It would give workers a longer period of time to recover wages they have been illegally denied under the minimum wage and overtime laws. Simply would allow workers to recover wages for the previous 3 years under minimum wage and overtime laws, rather than the 2 years that the law currently provides. It also just makes the law consistent. Right now, the non-payment of wages law says that you can go back 3 years, but for minimum wage and overtime, you can only go back 2, which is particularly a mismatch since minimum wage and overtime violations are often systemic violations that may have been going on for years. And it's certainly an arbitrary cutoff, and if nothing else, should just be a little bit longer. Obviously, this would help the workers themselves. It would also deter unscrupulous employers from exploiting workers. Also would level the playing field for honest employers by making sure that they don't have unfair competition from dishonest employers. Not to mention more tax revenue for the Commonwealth. It's a win-win for everyone. And finally, paid sick days legislation would allow workers to earn up to 7 paid sick days per year. Right now, over 40% of private sector workers in Massachusetts do not have even one guaranteed paid sick day, and this percentage is surely much, much higher among the immigrant workforce. These workers can lose pay or even their jobs if they stay home from work to get well or to care for a sick child or relative. Paid sick days are obviously would address a critical workers' rights issue, but also a critical public health issue, which has been made even clearer by the current flu crisis. All these bills have had hearings this fall before the legislature's Joint Committee on Labor and Workforce Development. Workers, community and religious leaders, many of you in this room, unions, government officials, and even some employers have come out in support. The next steps are to get the bills favorably reported out of committee. That is to have the Labor and Workforce Development Committee recommend that they move forward to the full legislature.